Hello viewers, hope you're doing fine. It is often said that 60 to 80% of data scientists' time is spent in cleaning the data, getting the data into a proper format which can be used to carry out the analysis and generate visualizations. 60 to 80% of the time in any data science project is spent on cleaning the data. That is a lot of time. So as a result, our community has felt a need of making a conceptual framework, sort of a standardized format, which will help in making the data cleaning step much more easier, efficient, and less time consuming. So Hadley Wilcombe is a principal chief data scientist at our studio. Now it is rebranded as Posit. Has come up with such conceptual framework, which he calls as a tidyData principle. Okay, and based on the tidyData principles, Hadley Wilcombe himself, along with the other our developers, developed the extensive software packages, and those software packages are called as a tidyverse packages. Okay, so we have a conceptual data framework, a standardized data framework, which will take care of data cleaning and wrangling step. And on the other hand, we also have the software packages, the tidyverse packages that use the tidyData principle. And if you combine these two things together, the data wrangling and data cleaning step becomes much more easier, efficient, and less time consuming. So this is the background. So I'm just giving you the background. Now we will come to the core part of the video. In this video, we are going to talk about the tidyData principle. In fact, this is the first video on tidyR package video series. So I'm going to start the new video series on tidyR package. tidyR package is, by the way, it's a package from tidyverse suite of packages, and this package is used to convert the messy data into a tidyData. So the package itself is based on tidyData principle. So I thought of starting the video series with a deep understanding of tidyData principles. Okay, so I request you to stick around till the end of the video, because this tidyData principle is such an important concept, and especially if you want to use the tidyverse packages, then tidyData will pop around every now and then, and you should feel comfortable in working with the tidyData set. So let's get started. Let's get started with the principle of tidyData. The principle of the tidyData goes like this. The tidyData sets are easy to manipulate, model, and visualize, and they have a specific structure. So Hadley Wilcombe says that in order to call a data as a tidyData, it should follow the specific structure. Now, what is that structure? Each variable is a column, each observation is a row, and each cell is a single value. So as you can see in the figure, each variable has its own column, each row observation has its own row, and each cell has a single value. Okay, so this is the tidyData structure that is proposed by Hadley Wilcombe. Now what I'm going to do is to show you a data set, and we are going to run these three principles on that data set, and we will check whether that particular data set follows the tidy principle or not. Okay, so that is the plan. So let me start by loading the tidyverse and NYC flights 13 packages. NYC flights 13. We are going to use some data sets from NYC flights 13 package. So let me close the warning. Yeah. Now the first data set that we are going to work upon is MPG cars data set. So let's first see what this MPG car data set is about. So this data set is about fuel economy data from 1999 to 2008 for 38 popular car models. Okay. Now if you see the format of the data, you will see that it has 234 rows and 11 variables. And each variable gives some information related to a specific car model. So these are the different attributes, various attributes of that particular car model. Okay. Now let us view the data set. MPG view. Let's check how the data set looks like. So this is the data set. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run through the 3 tidy data principles that we just saw. Let's check the first tidy data principle. The first tidy data principle says that each variable you measure should be in a single column. Now, as per the data set information, this data set has 11 variables. So I'm expecting that this table should also have 11 columns. Now, if you see, this table has 11 columns. Okay, so each column for each variable, that means it follows the principle number 1 of the tidy data set, which says that each variable should have a separate column. Let's come to the principle number 2. Every observation of a variable should be in a different row. So in this data we have 234 observations. Yeah, 234 entries, 234 observations related to 11 car attributes for each car model. Okay, so now let's take a case of first 2 rows. The first 2 rows are about Audi A4 car model, and you will see most of the attributes are the same except the transmission system and the city mileage. One model has auto transmission, another one has manual transmission, and the city mileage numbers are also different. So you will have 2 separate rows in the data set. Remember, the second principle says every observation of a variable should be in different row. So we have 2 different observations here. Auto transmission, manual transmission, 2 different city average values. So we have 2 different rows, even though the car model is same. So that is what the tidy data principle number 2. Now let's pretend that if the transmission system of these 2 car models had been the same, let's say that these 2 car models had same transmission system, both of them had auto transmission system, then in that case, would there be 2 separate rows in the data set? Yes, because even though the transmission system is the same, still we have 2 separate values for the city average. And going by principle number 2 of the tidy data set, because we have 2 separate observations, we should have 2 separate rows in the data set. Okay, principle number 2. Now let's come to the principle number 3, which says that each cell within a table should have single value. So if you quickly glance through this table, you will notice that each cell has a single unique value, which follows the principle 3 of the tidy dataset. So this MPG car dataset follows principle number 1, principle number 2, and principle number 3. So we can come to the conclusion that the MPG cars dataset is a tidy dataset, is in tidy format. Now there are two more principles. So far, we have seen a single data table. MPG car data table is a single data table. But most of the times we will work with the data sets in different tables. So we have another two tidy data principles for the data in multiple tables. So let's see those principles. I will call it as principle number 4, which says that there should be a separate table for each type of data. Now let me use the flights dataset. Let me use the flights dataset. The flights dataset is on-time data for all flights that departed from New York City Airport in 2013. So this dataset has all the on-time data, such as departure time, arrival time, scheduled departure time, scheduled arrival time of different carriers, different airlines. Okay, and if I want to check few observations randomly from this data set, I will use sample in function 15. Let's say I want to see the 15 random rows from the data set, so I will use sample in function with the 15 number as an argument, and let me view this. So as you can see, this data is related to the time data. It has various time information of different flights. Now let's refer to this carrier column. Now I want to get the information related to the carrier. As per the tidy data principle number 4, there should be a separate table for each type of data. Now if I want to get the information related to the carrier, then I need to look into a separate data table, because in this data table the principal information that I will get is related to the on-time data for all the flights. But if I want to get some more information related to carriers, then I will have to look into some different table. So let's check the airlines data frame. Yeah, so this airlines data gives me the information related to the carrier. So it has a carrier code and it has the name of the carrier. Remember, the name of the carrier is missing in this data table because this data table is altogether carries a different information, and airlines data altogether carries different information. So the principle number 4 of the tidy data format says that depending upon the type of the data that you have, you should have a separate data tables. Okay, now coming to the last principle, the principle number 5 says that if you have multiple tables, we had multiple tables here. We have one airline table, we have another flights table. If you have multiple tables, then they should include a key column in each table that allows them to be joined or merged. Now, in airlines table, we have a column called carrier. So as in flights data table. In flights data table also we have a column called carrier. And if we want to join these two tables together, we could join them, we could merge them using the carrier column, which is a common column between these two data tables. So these two tables follow the principle number 5. They have a key column in each of the table that allows them to be joined or merged. By the way, I have done a separate video explaining how to merge or combine the tables together using dplyr functions, dplyr package functions. If you want to have a look at it, then you will find a video link in the description below. So let me try to merge these two tables together with the inner join. So flights data in a join, we want to combine airlines data and join by. So this is where the key column comes into picture. Join by, what is the common column we have between these two tables is carrier column, joined by carrier. Yeah, let's check. So here we go. So it's better that we should view this. So let's view this. Yeah, here it is. So you can see the last column comes from the airlines table, and we could able to join these two tables together because we have this carrier as a common column between these two tables. So that is what the principle 5 is saying. Okay, fine. So let's quickly, I think we have covered all the tidy data principles. Now let's quickly cover the tidy data benefits. So why we are using the tidy data? What is the benefit of converting data into a tidy format? The tidy data benefits. The tidy data gives us the consistent data structure. We saw it has a consistent data structure because we have put in the principles, the rules to the data set. And once we put the rules to the data set, then the structure that comes out of it is consistent, is standardized. Second is reproducible data science pipeline. So once you have a tidy data in place, then it can run on multiple analyses. You can share the tidy data across the files. You can run it on multiple analyses seamlessly, thereby doing a reproducible data science work. The third benefit is easy merging or joining of different data sets. We saw that we could able to join the flights and airlines data set together because we had a common column between these two tables. So let's quickly summarize. In tidy data set, each variable is a column, each observation is the row, and each cell is a single value. Depending on the type of the data, there should be a separate data table for each data type. Type of the data here in the sense the information that the data table is conveying. Airlines data set is conveying the information related to the airlines. Flights data set is conveying the information related to the on-time arrivals and departures of time of the flights. Two separate tables conveying two separate information. And finally, the different tables should get merged together using the key column. With the help of key column, you can able to merge together the tables. Okay, we have come to the end of the video. If you feel that these videos are helping you in your R journey, you may like to subscribe to the channel. I would also highly appreciate if you can able to give me your views, your suggestions in the comment section, so that I can read those and I try to implement those in my future videos. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end. I will see you soon. Take care and goodbye.